My shit all fucked, so it don't even matter. Oh shit! Oh Lord Jesus! 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 Lord Jesus! Oh Jesus Christ! Lord, oh Jesus! Jesus! Oh Lord Jesus! Lord Jesus! Oh shit! Whoa! Whoa! That was awesome! That was awesome right there! God damn! Wow! Shit! Oh shit! Oh Lord Jesus! Oh Jesus! Get the water, nigga! Jesus Christ! Lord have mercy! Get the water, nigga! It's going down! Ah, the motherfucking bootleg fireworks shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Woo.
BC, let's continue our reporting on Andrea Mitchell. Now, I am proud of this. She said that Governor Desantis in Florida didn't want to teach the kids about slavery.
What does Governor Ron DeSantis not know about black history and the black experience when he says that slavery and the aftermath of slavery should not be taught to Florida school children?
I don't know what he knows and what he doesn't know.
That was incorrect, to put it mildly, and Ron DeSantis' office hit Andrea Mitchell and actually put out a memo saying he's not going on any NBC property. No MSNBC, no NBC, no Peacock, none of that.
Andrea Mitchell talked about the disgusting attacks on education, specifically the banning of CRT and pretty much any book that deals with race from Florida public schools by Ron DeSantis.
Some of this, but they've tried to create in Florida a narrative. It's basically a book ban hoax. It's a hoax what they're doing. And they're trying to say that because we have parental rights and because we have curriculum transparency, if you have a book that has hardcore pornography for in a library that 10-year-olds can access, a parent objects to that, that does not satisfy Florida standards. It should not be in the library with those young kids. And I think 99% of parents agree with that.
Specifically the banning of CRT and pretty much any book that deals with race.
And then in terms of issues involving American history, it's very clear in Florida standards that we are required to teach all aspects of black history, not queer theory, but actual aspects of black history, including MSNBC, slavery and its aftermath.
Pretty much any book that deals with race.
And including and required also to teach about the discrimination. So that is in the law.
So Ron DeSantis had his big tough spokesperson come out this week and say that they are officially, the entire administration, boycotting NBC and MSNBC until Andrea Mitchell apologizes to our little dictator down here in Florida.
You just had on MSNBC, you had the reporter saying that Governor DeSantis does not want students to learn about slavery and its aftermath. Well, if you actually looked at what our standards are, not only is it not prohibited to teach that, it's required to teach that.
When he says that slavery and the aftermath of slavery should not be taught to Florida school children?
It's required to teach that. It's required to teach all of those things. It's required under Florida statutes to teach about racial discrimination. And they're doing that to try to create a narrative. They're not doing that because Florida has a law or anything like that.
Ron DeSantis has now pretty much cut off about half of the national corporate media, who, by the way, were never clamoring to have him on in the first place.
We're never clamoring to have him on in the first place.
Florida's governor is saying thanks, but no thanks to an invitation to join the host of The View.
We're never clamoring to have him on.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declining an invite from The View to appear on the show.
Never clamoring to have him on in the first place.
Like a virgin, touched for the very first time. Like a virgin.
That's like me coming out and saying, you know what, by God, I am boycotting the fast food restaurant Captain D's. Boycotting them forever. But what it does do is it shows the country what a pathetic little wimpy coward Ron DeSantis really is.
You're a dick.
You know, he can't handle any kind of criticism, which of course is actually why he had one of his little minions in the Florida state legislature this week, Alex Andrade, introduce legislation that'll make it easier for Ron DeSantis to sue his critics in the media.
Governor Ron DeSantis first called for legislation challenging longstanding precedent on defamation claims earlier this month. Now a bill answering that call has been filed. We asked the governor yesterday what he made of the bill in its current form. He said he hadn't read it yet, but maintained his goal is to protect everyday people, not politicians.
You have other people who do not have the platform that I have who get targeted. You have a situation where you've got a lot of drive-by media. So they will basically smear somebody, put it out there, and then you will debunk it like the next day or whatever, but it's kind of already gotten out there, and there's no recourse effectively if you lie about somebody. And the government should not be involved in this regulating, because you can't regulate speech, but private parties being able to go and say, wait a minute, you know, this was a false statement, you know, you were reckless, or I mean even negligent should be. That's just, we don't have enough of that where there's any accountability.
I mean, that's something Donald Trump could have only dreamed of. And Ron DeSantis, thanks to the morons we have in our Republican-controlled Florida legislature, might actually make that a reality. Because he's just a sensitive little guy deep down, right? I mean, little baby Ronnie doesn't want anybody saying anything that's going to hurt his little feelings. I know he likes to project this image of the big, tough guy taking on those woke liberals, but he's really just a giant man-child, much like Donald Trump himself. He's a pathetic little coward.
I used to suck dick for coke.
He can't handle criticism, and if you offer even the slightest amount of criticism for things he has done, right? Andrea Mitchell did not exaggerate. She did not lie.
In my interview last Friday with Vice President Harris, I was imprecise in summarizing Governor DeSantis' position about teaching slavery in schools.
She did not lie. She said what had happened down here in Florida.
I was imprecise in...
Right? Andrea Mitchell did not exaggerate.
I was imprecise in summarizing Governor DeSantis' position about teaching slavery in schools.
You know, a few things that we can still do in Florida, as it turns out. Not only can we do, we must. I mean, so you have to teach your children about slavery and the aftermath of slavery in any accredited public or private school in the state of Florida.
But apparently even talking about the things that Ron DeSantis has done is enough to make his little feelings get hurt and call for a boycott of networks that he was already not appearing on.
No shit.